What's your general summary of the event today?
Fantastic. It was a good lecture. The whole idea was to call attention by a world-renowned ambassador, historian, a professor of history, to talk about nationalism and Nigeria's history. Very academic, very well detailed. It went into dressed up a lot of facts, a lot of information that people were hearing for the first time. And then the discussions that ensued from Ambassador Ahmed to Aya Debanjo to Ambassador Humphrey Ojiako to Mr. Simon Reif, and then the question and answer session. Very enriching, very apt in view of where we are as a people and as a country. Ours is to continue to seek opportunity to tell our story, both as Igbos and then as Nigerians. And Professor Jide Oshotuku has tried to help us to do that today. We commend him. And then the chairman, it wasn't by accident that His Excellency General John Atobera was chairman of the event. He was the first military administrator of what was Anambra, old Anambra State. He had to come all the way from Moko, where he resides, to Abuja and then to be here. And then we can't forget Ochara Bitukiwe, Ike Wachuku Wakwadike, Ochendo SNOKK, My Excellency Professor Uche Azikiwe, and several others who accepted to be here with us. And the story will continue. We will continue to tell our story. So I'm very happy for the outcome, and then I hope and pray that the process will continue. This is just one aspect of what we are doing.
Okay, while the speakers were speaking, Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed impressed on Igbo to go home and build consensus, while Baya Debanjo said, or rather disagreed vehemently with that notion of building consensus, noting that it is the right and the time of Igbo. How do you reconcile the opposing worldview as the way forward?
Now, from day one, from the time we were sworn in, we had elections in Owerri on Sunday the 10th of January 2021. The PG, President General of Eendears-memorial worldwide, Ambassador Professor George Oblojo, COI, had been consistent, had been saying one thing, that it was the turn of the SouthEast to produce the next president of Nigeria. The PG has never said anything different. We had an Eendears-memorial on Thursday, 5th of May this year. We set up a political action committee. We traveled around Nigeria. We met leaders. He wrote to all the living leaders of Nigeria on that. We met the leadership of the two main political parties, PDP and APC, at the highest levels before their primaries. And then we worked closely with our partners in the Southern and Middle Belt Forum. It started from the presidency going to the south, and then the leaders of the forum zeroed in on the SouthEast. And it's important for me to say this. Immediately, the issue of the presidency going to the SouthEast took a life of its own. Insecurity in the SouthEast increased. The attack on the correctional services in Owerri on Easter, Monday of this year, April. That of attack on police stations, INEC offices, killing of soldiers, killing of police, and then the media attention on the SouthEast. It took a life of its own. The main political parties, we pleaded with them for the sake of fairness, equity, and justice. It is the turn of the Southeast, not Igbo, Southeast. They didn't listen. And as PG says, in this fight, God will come out to be our David in this fight against Goliath. His Excellency Peter Obi left PDP, went for primaries in another party, won, and then became a candidate of Labour Party. This is what we've been asking for. We're not begging, but we're saying, for the sake of justice, equity, and fairness, the presidency of Nigeria moves around geopolitical zones, not through tribes. When Nigeria decided to give it to Obasanjo in 1999, it was between Chief Obasanjo or Falaye. You have Yorubas in Kwara, it didn't include them. You have Yorubas in Kogi, it didn't include them. It was for Yorubas in the Southwest. President Obasanjo finished, he went to the Northwest, Yaradua. Unfortunately, he died in office. President Jonathan replaced him and was defeated in 2015. President Muhammadu Buhari came on board. He's finishing next year. He's from Northwest. And we're saying, give us a sense of inclusion. We are part of this country. We are Nigerians. Let's have a shot at it. And we have a candidate who is competent. We have a candidate who has stamina, who is focused, who has what it takes to rule this country, to be president of this country. It's not an Igbo project. Our canvas is Nigeria. Peter Obi is a Nigerian project. It's having support from across the country. We are talking to people, we are holding conversations, we are having meetings for him to emerge as president of Nigeria. And that is our position, and we have no apologies to render to anybody for that.
Okay. Now, many have accused Ohaneze, an eminent group, that you are the Secretary General. And you've been, Ohaneze has been accused of not publicly endorsing Peter Obi as other sociocultural groups have done to him. Do you think there is validity in that statement?
There's no validity. Ohaneze is working with Pandef, Ohaneze is working with Middle Belt Forum, Ohaneze is working with Afenifere. We have a formidable alliance. And every step we've taken, any pronouncement we have made, is based on this alliance. There's no fear. Nobody should be anxious. We are working with our partners, and then God on our side, we shall overcome. We are making progress.
Thank you. Before I let you go, I will not afford to miss this. Professor Chukwumacha Soludo recently made statements, regarding His Excellency Peter Obi. So can I have your take on it?
I know both of them. Professor Charles was 2 years my junior in the same department in UNN. This is a new week, it has happened, and I'm sure everybody has moved on. So let's leave that. To me, it's a distraction. Let's focus on the main fight in front of us.
Thank you.